Gonna do January 2021. Last 3 cards we've had. First up, Holloway versus Cater. Awesome fight. We had Chiesa versus Magny. Another good one. And then Connor versus Dustin.
Which was a great card.
Awesome card.
Good main event and co-main. The card overall was a little... But, you know.
Yeah. I mean, there were good fights.
There were some good fights.
Yeah, like entertaining one. A lot of stuff I didn't think was going to happen.
Yeah.
Like you had Joanne Calderwood putting on a show against Jessica Eye.
Yeah. And like, how come no one else has been able to really, I don't know, besides Valentina, just like make Jessica Eye look like that before? I don't know. It was actually really impressive.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what's next for her. Yeah. Like, do you think she's earned a title shot?
Who, Joanne?
Yeah. So she was ranked 5, I want to say.
She was in spot for a title shot before she got subbed, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, maybe one more, but like as well, like who else is at the top of that heap right now?
That's strawweight, right?
Yeah. So that's the Valentina Shevchenko.
Yeah. So you've got Andrade.
Andrade. Oh, yeah, that'd be pretty fair for a fight.
Yeah, I'd probably go them. I can't actually. I might pull it up. Oh, fuck. That was flyweight as well.
Oh, it's flyweight. All right.
Yeah, so sorry. That's flyweight. Right now, Joanne is ranked number 6. Andrade is number 1. You've got Chukagian.
Oh, Chukagian.
Chukagian? Is that how you say that?
Yeah. She'd be a good fight for Joanne, right? Like, have they fought before?
Oh, for Valentina. Oh, sorry, for Joanne Calderwood.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be a sick one. I don't think they have.
Yeah, because Valentina just beat her, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
And then, you know, it didn't really look like Chukagian was going to win much in that fight, but...
I don't know who has a chance against Shevchenko.
Yeah. It's a pretty good division right now.
Yeah.
That's flyweight. So that's the same fight weight class as that chick that fought Roxanne Modafferi in the Chiesa card, right?
Vivian Araujo?
That's the one.
She was awesome, man. She looked so good.
She looked better than, you know, I've seen anyone in that weight class, like really in terms of like how fluid she was. Her head movement was so good. Like, you know, her range of striking was really good. She looked like she's like not quite a pro at it yet, but she's like better than anyone that she trains with at it.
Yeah, certainly.
So she moves around very confidently. You know, she's very like very precise with her striking. But actually, that's kind of the problem is when she misses, it's bad.
She's way overcommitted, and then there's an opportunity for her to get clipped.
Yeah, and that's kind of where you'd see someone like Valentina just starting to cause a little bit of havoc for her. But a good fight against her and maybe, Calderwood, actually.
That'd be a cool one.
Yeah, you know, they're kind of like around that sort of space, and it's a bit of an anything can happen division. Like the rankings don't matter that much.
No, not here so much. No, it's I'd like to see how Araujo goes on the ground. Because Roxy didn't manage to get her down, I don't think.
Yeah, actually, Araujo kind of kept taking it. Like Roxy would try to take her down. She'd kind of get her back a little bit. I was just watching this one just before, so it is pretty fresh.
Oh, good. Because this one was a while ago for me. I remember most of it being her keeping like reasonable distance, outstriking Roxy.
Yeah, and then when Roxy would kind of try and like take her down, she'd almost reverse it. Like in the end of the first, she didn't almost get a rear naked on her.
Yeah.
She got close to the position. But, you know, there's that sort of...
But she was handling Roxy on the ground.
Yeah, she was doing really well. She was like actually kind of taking it. And then she slowed down really bad in the third though. And then Roxy started looking like a good striker. And you're like, Roxy's not a good striker.
No.
And not even like near her at that level at all, but... You know, against someone tired, anyone's a good striker.
It was funny watching Roxy because she has, like, she's performing complex footwork. Like, she's shifting and pivoting and all that sort of stuff. But a lot of people aren't really doing in that weight class right now.
Yeah.
But it's like she doesn't have the proper basics to back that up.
It's like she's stiff as a board from, like, the top half up. You know, like, her head movement's not there. She just, like, feint forward with her jab. She won't actually, like, do any, like, you know, slipping, any swaying.
No, like feigning either.
Yeah.
It's just throwing that really extended jab out.
Yeah, exactly right. Like the sort of thing where you can really just like get eaten in the body if you do it a bit too much. Someone gets too used to it. What other fights are in the Max Holloway card anyway? Because we're starting a little in the middle here.
Yeah, let's go back. Let's go straight back to Max's card. Because he owned that card.
Yeah, he did. Like, I'm pretty sure from memory it was a good card. You'll have to remind me through it. And then Max just stole the show. Like, you didn't really remember anything else but Max Holloway at the end of it, which is what you want to do. Yeah.
It was a 25-minute highlight.
Yeah.
The whole fight, non-stop. It was 454 strikes off the top of my head.
All of them, like, as crisp as someone hitting the pads. Like,
oh, man.
Where did that come from?
Insane. He looks so good. And he, like, Cater hit him with some shit, too.
Yeah.
There was one uppercut that looked like it was going to...
Cater looked actually like the whole fight, even like in round 5, like even when he's like kind of taking a lot of damage, everything that he threw was like really technical.
Yeah.
Even. Like he still looked like he could have been dangerous, but like Max Holloway's kind of got that chin, you know, like.
Yeah. He just doesn't feel shit.
You know, we get like sort of like short memories, especially in MMA. You know, and Max Holloway coming off 2 losses, people are starting to think, you know, oh, you know, does he still have the magic?
Yeah.
Oh man, he shut us up hard. Like,
yeah, I had Cater picked for that one. Yeah, well, he just has like, so Max didn't have the reach advantage over him.
Yeah.
Which is a big thing in like the featherweight division. Max is mostly fighting a lot shorter guys.
Yeah, and it's a big thing for people who have a lot of reach. They like to use that very often.
Yeah, and then the fight against Dustin, that was basically them having exchanges and Max just being overpowered in all of them.
Yeah.
Like they're landing the same strikes. It's just Dustin's putting more behind it. And I was guessing that the Cater fight was going to go just like that.
You know what? That's a good reference point, really. Like that doesn't, but you know, we like to remember the losses when we try and predict these things. But I guess it's so like, you know, if you tried to compare that with, I guess the Jose Aldo fights, you know, where like Max is just being aggressive with boxing, then you forget about that and you're like, who has Calvin Cater fought that kind of comes out like that at him, you know?
No, well, I don't think, again, short memory, really short memory, but I don't recall Cater ever being put in his back foot like that. Yeah,
no, not really. And like Cater, honestly, I was scared. I did not want to see Max Holloway get knocked out the way that Cater's and like knocking people like. And he's like good there too. He's good in those people that like to kind of swing in the pocket. And you know, you see that Ricardo Lamas like highlight, you know. Dude. You're like, oh man, if Max does this with Cater, he might eat a brick to the face, you know. But
Max has been hit with so much shit though, and like I hate the whole good chin argument because it doesn't necessarily make you like better.
Oh no.
But like there's no doubt about it. His chin is like almost as unbreakable as it can get.
Yeah.
Like I can't think of anyone else who...
Have you seen him knocked down? Like, no, not really, no. Like Dustin was hitting him and he was like a touch wobbly in the feet.
Yeah.
And I think that was almost the recipe with Max is to like hurt him hard in the first, like before he can kind of get going because he gets like perpetual motion, you know, he gets
just
faster
goes and goes
harder
and goes.
and harder as it goes. And Dustin kind of like hurt him early before he could kind of get started. And then he could not, when he couldn't get started, he was getting hurt again and again, you know. And, you know, that's a good way to beat Max Holloway. But I guess Cater's kind of like a little bit more of a counter striker, or, you know, if he can get you to kind of throw with him, then he's going to hurt you because he's like a bit crisper.
He's just cleaner, more accurate. Yeah.
He's got that power. You know?
Yeah. There was the Aldo fight, I think maybe even in both, Aldo clipped Max.
Yeah.
And there was a moment where he was wobbly.
Yeah.
But then he, like, you know, dealt with it and obviously whooped him later. But
give me flashbacks, actually. Like, I remember I was on holiday the first time Max Holloway fought Jose Aldo.
Really?
Yeah, and I was like a big Max Holloway fan. So I was like, oh, so like upset that I wasn't going to see it because I was like traveling and shit.
Yeah.
And my mate was messaging me on MSN Messenger, just like basically live breakdown of the fight. And he's like saying, oh, no, I don't think this is going to be the one where Max does it. But he was doing so well. And I think I remember watching it back. Jose hurt him. He starts chasing up with some knees and things such as that. But, you know, I guess you got to hurt him hard enough like Dustin did. You know, Dustin not getting the credit once again.
Yeah.
You know, like he's just hitting it on another level, even a level that Aldo's not really like getting at, which is like, woo.
That's saying something.
Yeah, that's a high level.
It's weird how overlooked Aldo is to like the newer fans. Like a lot of the people who sort of came in around that Conor McGregor era and all they really saw of him was him getting clocked in like 13 sequins.
Yeah, and like all of us who called ourselves hardcores back then were like to everyone who's a McGregor fan, like, you watch, he's about to get cracked. And, you know.
I was wearing like an Aldo shirt, all my mates were back in Conor. I'm like, you guys have no fucking clue.
You know, that's how we can feel sometimes, you know. Sometimes people win fights that almost, you know, they're not meant to win. Like, you think, like, as if, like, you've changed, like, the timeline of, like, the universe, you know, when they beat that fight and everything changes for him. And that's what it was like for Conor when he beat Aldo.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I had a lot of doubts about the guy up until that point, you know. Like, I was like, oh, you know, he's got the showy, like, kind of spin kicks and stuff. And, you know, that's why people sort of like him, you know. Oh, he's Irish, he talks a lot of shit. You know, like, he's good to watch on the camera, you know. He's almost like he's entertainment as well as, well, no, he's like, he seemed like just entertainment. And then, like, you know, he brings in the skill when he, like, knocked out Aldo. Like, even when he beat Chad Mendes, I was like, you know, Conor hasn't fought a wrestler like this before. You know, this is not going to be a good fight for him. Like, he did get Chad when he wasn't in, like, perfect shape.
He was, like, 2 weeks' notice, I want to say.
Yeah.
Something like that. He was meant to fight was it RDA?
Yeah, he was.
Wait, no, that was Diaz.
No, he was meant to fight Aldo. That's when Aldo pulled out from the
rib
sore
kick,
ribs. Yeah.
My bad. Yeah.
Yeah, and Conor just kind of hunted that stomach on Chad, you know, like that liver kick in the last combo. Like, you know, people watch the knockdown, but that front kick that he landed right in the middle, like, that's where it ended.
Yeah, he was, like, you saw him exhale hard.
Yeah.
Like, keel over just a little bit and then...
And he was, like, he was accumulating him. Like, he was landing him in the start. And, like, you're seeing Chad, like, he was slowing down. He was making some faces. And then after a while, it was just, like, it's a big difference every time he starts to land these body shots.
Yeah, I was getting a little nervous for Conor when Chad got him down and started throwing elbows.
Yeah, Chad came in there hard.
Like, for a second, it looked like it wasn't going to happen for him.
Yeah, and Conor looked like he hadn't showered in months in that fight. You know, like, he looked like that was the homeless Conor that just randomly popped out to fight, and like you're like, oh man, like you didn't even feel the crowd behind Conor in that fight. You're like, oh, you know, like it felt like he was really alone in there for like one of the first times, and then he came out and you got to give it to him, you know, like
it is entertainment.
Yeah,
like.
And the guy's, he's got a lot of skill, but like, you know, we'll get to where that skill kind of ends when we kind of get through the rest of these cards.
Yeah, well, we've got the Dustin one coming up, but let's keep going back. Before Holloway and Cater, we had Carlos Condit and Matt Brown.
Oh, man. As I think you said, you wish this fight happened 5 years ago.
It would have been fucking awesome.
Oh,
it would have been so good.
Yeah, when Matt Brown was on that win streak, when he beat the shit out of Eric Silva. Oh, you know,
that's one of the best fights. And he kept getting clocked to the body, and he'd go down and just bear through it.
Yeah, he just had that. He had that heroin addict liver, you know. He takes a shot and he folds, and that's when like Condit was in that stage where he was like mashing Martin Kempman's face with elbows.
Oh, yeah.
You know, Thiago Alves like put his nose in his cheek. You know, imagine if them two fighters met. Like, oh, that would have just been great. But like, it was good to see Condit doing so well again.
Yeah,
it's been very very exhausting being a Condit fan these last couple of years. You know.
Well, I didn't expect Matt to look for the takedown.
Yeah,
in that fight.
But you know, it's like he's read the blueprint. He's like, this is how you beat Carlos Condit. You know, you take him down, and then all of a sudden, Carlos Condit's been to wrestling training for a camp. Yeah. He starts reversing the takedowns. He starts getting top position, and then it's like he's remembering, like, oh yeah, you can win a fight from up here.
I kind of just assumed Matt would come in and throw hands because that's the type of Matt. Well, that's like who he is. Yeah. But like Condit really, he looked awesome. It's kind of too late for him to make a comeback though.
Yeah, it is. He's not going to come back and get that welterweight title.
He won a fight before Matt, is that right?
Yeah, he did.
Was it,
struggling to remember who it was. Wasn't a big name out of memory.
I don't think so. But yeah, so he had one win, then he fought Matt Brown, who's like an older veteran as well. I think any of the young guys at welterweight right now are going to kind of piece them up. Yeah,
like the upcoming young guys, they're going to do great. Like the top 5 guys, like these like accumulative strikers, you know, you got your RDAs, you've got your Burns, you've got your Usmans, you know, your Colbys.
Scary boys.
Yeah, they're hard fights for Condit, you know. He's just not going to be able to get up the top there and win those fights anymore. I can't see it happening. Like, all due respect to him, I'm a massive Carlos Condit fan.
It's hard not to be. Like, back in the day, it was so good. When he head kicked GSP.
Oh, man.
I was on my feet. I was screaming.
Like, this guy, he's going to be, like, the one to, like, be like, I don't know, get that legitimate GSP win. Sorry, Matt Serra. Yeah, GSP came back almost the best GSP there was, and you watch that other Carlos Condit fight, like Donyon Kim? No, might have been where he landed a double knee against the cage. Oh, Dan Hardy knockout.
That was sick. Both throwing left hooks and just.
Woo. If you haven't seen these fights, and you're listening to this, definitely get on your Fight Pass and watch these old Carlos Condit fights. You'll see what the hype is about.
It's worth it. He was a classic.
Yeah.
All time. And that Lawler fight too.
Yeah.
Where it could have maybe not been that way.
Yeah, that was like a good testament to the new scoring system.
Yeah.
Like a guy winning the fight but not trying to win the fight, if that makes sense.
Kind of. Versus
a guy that's losing the fight but is trying to win with these bombs and shit, and he does the shit that you remember,
Yeah.
It's a better way to score a fight, I feel, but
I think so. Really damage should probably be the defining factor in a striking fight.
Right. If it's a striking fight, damage, of course. Yeah. You could even kind of say when it's a grappling fight, if it was pretty even, you can kind of tell by who looks more defeated. I don't know. You can see a soul break in a good grappling fight.
There's sub attempts, there's top control, but there was a fight recently. It was one of the prelims, but on one of the prelims there was someone, I think it was a girl, but she won from bottom, playing guard.
Yeah.
She was throwing elbows from guard, being more active. Top control doesn't necessarily mean you're winning in grappling. She wasn't exactly throwing up sub attempts, but that same Bisping versus GSP style, throwing elbows from the back and then doing actual damage.
Yeah.
Same thing.
It's good to see that it's not like it was 10 years ago where the actual position now matters instead of just top or bottom.
Yeah.
When you're in guard, when you're in someone's guard, you're not really winning unless you're advancing, you're landing strikes. But if they're on bottom, they're throwing up sub attempts and you're just not getting subbed and you're getting shots every here and there, you are losing the fight.
Yeah.
Your goal when you're there is to pass their guard or to do damage. And if you're not doing those things, you're not doing your goal, so you're not winning.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's good to see that sort of thing happen these days.
Yeah, I'm happy with it. Makes for better fights.
Yeah.
Really. Before Brown and Condit, we had Ponzinibbio and Jing Liang.
Ponzinibbio. What are you doing to me?
There was so much hope.
Yeah.
I thought he was going to come back and just tear through everyone.
Yeah, this guy's beating your favorite fighters, doing some dodgy shit, he's beating Gunnar Nelson and there's some eye pokes, he's really putting a proper halt to that Mike Perry hype train.
Yeah.
But at the cost, he doesn't even do anything with it. He just gets knocked the fuck out by Jing Liang and why? Why'd you do that? I was invested in you. I wanted you to start being my guy because I liked Mike Perry,
Yeah. It was a lot of Liang looked good. Jing Liang. I won't call him half his last name, but Jing Liang did look good. He was threatening.
Yeah.
And it had Ponzinibbio looking a little more tentative than I expected he would have been.
Yeah, Jin Liang, he's got that nickname, the Leech.
The Leech.
He kind of gives off that vibe he's going to beat you with the grappling, but he had a lot of power in that fight.
His striking's good, man. Really, really underrated.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, I did not see it coming like that at all. And
I think my pick was Ponzinibbio however he wants.
However he wants. Oh. Yeah, he didn't really look like he ever really had a choice of what was happening, he was trying to get in there, but just getting hurt when he did.
Yeah. Yeah. Buckley and DeKirico.
Oh.
There was so much hope again.
How was your pick on this? Did you kind of really eat crow on that one?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. I was all in on Buckley.
Yeah.
Because I was looking at his record and he came into the UFC on a week's notice, 1 week after a fight.
Wow.
And his first fight was Kevin Holland.
Oh, yeah. So you got to forgive that.
Yeah. And I think he took it to the third round and then got knocked out.
Yeah.
But totally understandably.
Totally understandable.
All forgiveness
Kevin Holland's
given.
a gun.
Yeah. And most of his finishes were knockouts. He looked awesome. He's got skills. Yeah. And then he pulled off that stupid fucking knockout.
Yeah.
Last year.
I remember seeing that and wow, I think that's the best one I've ever seen. It might be.
It's just the dream. It's so It's the shit you like think of doing and then never try.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. It's like, you know, how like that Anderson Silva Vitor Belfort like front kick like became so iconic.
Yeah.
It was like, that was iconic, but it's not even good compared to Joaquin Buckley with his, you know, catch your front kick to spinning head kick.
I reckon you'll see people try that shit now.
Yeah, I'd like to see a lot more of that sort of shit. And then like, you know, his fight after that, you know, like that guy was meant to be like really good striker and he never really even got started.
I pieced him up.
Yeah, he chased him down and he just kept going hard till he got that knockout.
Yeah.
But then I ate crow watching that fight. I tell you this. I came in and like we were watching this fight and I'm thinking, you know, maybe I'm sold on Buckley, you know, maybe he's just going to get another sweet knockout. Yeah. And then I start talking mad shit. I say, has there ever even been like a memorable Italian in MMA? Like, or are they just not good? So I'm like not even just going for this guy. I'm riding off a whole country. And then he just gets knocked out clean. And I was like, well, I couldn't have said that at a worse time.
Head kicking his soul fucking left too.
Oh, yeah. It was like one of those ones where you think maybe his brain might just like come out with the top half of his head.
Oh, he like dipped in. I think it was like a cross, got low, and then just in the temple.
Yeah, it was like a scene out of Kill Bill, you know? Like just the skull getting cut right in half.
Yeah. I hope Buckley does come back though.
I don't feel like he's like just gonna. I don't feel like he's the sort of guy that like gets downhearted from these losses.
No,
like,
I don't think so. He seemed fairly humble about it. You know, like he took it well.
Yeah,
I reckon he'll come back. I'm keen. I definitely want to see more of him.
Yeah,
yeah.
I think that's almost like what he's angling for. He doesn't seem to be like, you know, I'm the best of all time. He's like almost like I'm just gonna go out and like, you know,
make fun shit happen.
Yeah,
yeah.
Get paid a lot for it. You know, like almost like Joe Lozon was, but.
Oh,
yeah.
Joe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Before that was Punahele. I'm trying with the names. Punahele Soriano versus Dusko Todorovic.
Now you'll have to remind me on that one, man.
I took an L on this one too.
You doing another L?
They both came in off the Contender Series.
Yeah.
I think Dusko won a decision and still got in, which is weird from the Contender Series because normally it's like big knockouts or like dynamic subs. But he looked great. Like he's got. When I was watching it, I said he had good head movement, but like watching it back, it's all like really leant back shit. Like he's not getting hit, but it's not like traditionally good head movement. Yeah, I just liked it because it looked fun, you know? And he's got like great clinch, pins people up against the wall and just beats them down and gets knockouts from like the clinch.
Oh, that's like a good style, right? Like how do you bet against that?
Exactly.
Like, what's the counter?
Yeah. And Soriano is like Hawaiian dude. I felt bad because I bet against both Hawaiians on this card. But like great striking.
Yeah.
Fit dude. But there was nothing that sort of stood out for him. Mm-hmm. But then in this fight, Dusko was basically doing the same shit he always does, leaning back, trying to tie him up. He wasn't able to tie Soriano up. He always like reversed and made space.
Ooh.
And then Soriano switched from throwing like loops to going like hook cross, came straight through, clocked him as he was leaning back.
Ah, yes.
And then went out in the first round, I think.
Yeah, now it's coming back to me, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you know, Hawaiians, if you want me to get picked more, be more consistent. I'm going after a whole nother area of land, you know?
You're not making friends here.
Yeah, no, I'm not. But honestly, there is like where you come from, there is like a level of like you can get to like with your skill. Like just to touch on it, you know, like you always have like Americans who are great at wrestling. You know?
Yeah.
You know, I actually kind of bet too hard on this and I was like, you know, Dustin's going to be the guy to beat Khabib. But, you know, there's skills that are regional. Yeah. And, you know, that's why you kind of like talk about it because, you know, you see a lot like better striking like come from different areas, you know, like you see the Dutch people come out, you're like, this guy's going to be a good striker. And like, there's no ifs, buts or maybes about it. If he comes to the top level of like fighting, then he's probably grown up really enjoying striking if he's come from Holland, you know?
100%.
Just for an example.
You've got like Dutch dudes, Polish dudes, Thai dudes.
Yeah.
And girls, sorry.
Yeah, and over there, you've got
they're all
kickboxing.
Freaks. They're all
and
freaks.
Yeah. You know, there's a lot of wrestling over in Eastern Europe, but like the West side, you know, they like to strike. It's kind of cool, actually, the way that kind of whole landing.
Mix in a little bit.
Yeah.
Let's move up to ESPN 20, which was Chiesa and Magny.
Yeah, let's move over there.
Yeah.
So we first started with that cat with the the interesting last name. What's his name?
He's got 6 last names.
Uh,
Douglas Silva de Andrade.
oh, was that the first fight?
That was the first one on the main card. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Silva de Andrade fighting Leroy Murphy.
Yeah, Leroy Murphy looking
Looks
good.
good, man.
Yeah.
Good footwork, good movement.
Big for the weight class.
Yes.
Mr. De Silva, is that how you say his last name?
On the event, he was just going as Silva.
Yeah,
So
let's
just
go
call
with
him
Silva. Yeah. He actually was in there a fair bit. And I think actually a spot where he really kind of like started taking the L was in the first round. He threw a kick and it got checked really hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, and from there he was like moving different. He was a little more ginger on that back foot. And, he just wasn't really getting a lot of success after that one point.
Yeah.
And then, Lorraine Murphy, Leron Murphy, he's going for the calf kick.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's doing damage to that leg and the other leg. And, you take away the base, what can you do?
No, you're fucked. Yeah. As we'll talk on in the Connor fight as well.
Like we will on the Connor fight. I'm not counting the Silver out yet. In that weight class, there's a lot of things you can do. Yeah, let's see what Murphy brings in.
I mean, Silva's got like good kickboxing, really.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming he's like a black belt in jiu-jitsu, but that's probably...
Yeah, it seemed to be where he wanted the fight to go, but there was a little bit of like, watching this card, there was a bit of a common theme, and it's like a bit of a... It's a problem that you see right up into the highest level, and you see it in the amateur fights too. When people get an opportunity to take it back...
Yeah.
They instantly want to try and get both hooks in and a seatbelt grip.
Yeah.
Where it's like, when you've got your chest up against someone's shoulder and you've got that back position, let's break down the steps on the way to getting that back, because there's other pathways you can go. And if you go into it too quickly,
you're
just going to end up like Chael against Fedor, like just getting rolled forward,
Yeah.
I want to see people more like, on the shoulder that you're on the side with, go double unders and get that 2-on-1 grip.
Yeah.
Because from there, there's a lot you can do, you can get under their hips, you can throw them on their shoulder, you can do a bit of a knee tap, throw them down onto their face. And from there, you can let go with one hand and land some punches on the body, soften them up.
Yeah.
And, if they try and roll, the arm triangle's right there. You don't always have to get a rear naked just because you got someone's back,
Yeah, it's like a BJJ problem because wrestlers don't have that problem.
No, wrestlers
they'll hang out
like
off to the side and just throw bombs. Yeah. And that's like totally an option.
Yeah, and MMA, it's a great spot.
Awesome. Yeah.
You see a lot of people just give up position being overeager, and, Silva did that a little bit in that fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny how that's still a thing.
Yeah.
With like the BJJ guys.
Yeah. Guys, there's so many more subs you can get to, everyone loves a rear naked. It's awesome having someone's back, it's awesome having that control, you're not in danger.
But you can...
Losing it sucks.
It does suck. And you can focus on having like a similar amount of control from other positions if you train them.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't have to just be like mount, side control and like back. And that's like the holy grail.
Yeah. You're going to have like people who like, when you're in their guard, you're completely in their control.
Yeah.
The whole time you're just trying to not get subbed. You're just trying to not get swept, people we know,
a few.
Yeah, longer people that just hold that underhook on you the whole time. And like you've got your hand on the mat and the first thing you're thinking about is never have your hand on the mat. But then like even in trying to fight that, you're giving them the position they want to get a triangle. It's like, as Mitch said, there's more positions that have good control in MMA. And like, when you're getting to this higher level and as the game's advancing, people need to take advantage of that way more.
Yeah. Like you see people like Khabib probably most popularly.
Yeah.
Like the way he, everywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere on the ground.
Yeah, and he's broken down each position into seeing other ways where there's other control. Like, he's like inventing positions, he's, he didn't coin the Dagestani handcuff, but it's named after his move, Or, there's probably someone you're screaming at me right now, like, you don't know this guy from Russia? But I don't care. He wasn't famous. He didn't do it when anyone cared about it. Like, okay, it's Khabib's move.
Yeah, I remember the week, which fight was it? I think it was after Connor Maybe it was before that, but I remember 1 week after a Khabib fight, everyone in the gym was trying to do leg knots up against the wall.
Yeah. It's like, because it was like the first time that like the commentators are actually able to like kind of break down what like Khabib was doing to control people so hard.
Legs elevated, can't like use them.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I'll try and get up. Oh, wait, this is where I get hit. Okay, no worries. I'll block that. Oh, wait, no, now I'm giving my neck.
Yeah. All right, after Murphy and Silva. Oh, just one more thing about Murphy. You don't see many people who are such like movement-based fighters actually checking leg kicks as well as he did.
Yeah.
Because a lot of them are more focused on getting out of the way, but he sort of was able to check it. And that's such a big plus because like the main thing that seems to be shutting down movement-based fighters is taking big leg kicks.
Yeah.
And so that's super promising for him.
Leg kicks are like the order of the day these days, you know.
Yeah.
Like, you know, when you used to watch like the old UFCs, like from the early hundreds, and that's not even early anymore. Well, I guess I call that early these days, but like, you know, you hear Joe Rogan always talking about leg kicks. You know, Rampage isn't landing enough leg kicks. And he'd be stoked these days because leg kicks are what everyone's doing. It's how they're winning fights.
The calf kicks too,
Yeah.
by the way. They're like, seem to be newish.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, they've probably been happening for 5-ish years, but like.
Yeah, I remember Benson Henderson doing a lot of
yeah,
that
that's right.
Yeah.
He was doing them heaps.
But he wasn't like doing them to like win fights. He was doing them to like add to his combination.
Yeah.
And then you see a lot of people these days just doing it to like chop down, take away your movement completely. And I guess like, you know, checking might hopefully be the next thing that gets big in the fight. You know? But I don't want to see another Anderson Silva, Chris Weidman. But
That was hard to watch.
yeah, I want to see people with like, you know, that impenetrable defense, you know.
Yeah. I think the first big calf kick fight I saw was Melendez versus, was it Sanchez? No, it wasn't. It was Melendez and Stevens, Jeremy Stevens.
Oh, yeah.
And Stevens was landing calf kicks.
Yeah, yeah.
And after like 2, his shin was swollen up and.
Yeah, it makes a difference, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Such a cool technique. I wish I did more of that when I was training.
That was my only way to like get into some people actually, like, you know, just like a really like long base and like just a really low like front calf kick.
Yeah.
It's a good way when someone's got a lot of reach on you, I find. You know, especially when they like to play that longer stance and that long guard.
Yeah.
It's like an easy way to kind of like hurt them and make it so like their reach, which is like, you know, their biggest weapon, like controlling the range, when that starts getting damaged, that's the best way in, I find.
Yeah. Yeah, sick. On to the next one was Matt Schnell versus Tyson Nam.
Yeah. How's
Cool
this fight, right?
Really cool fight.
Yeah, like it was like really good optics, you know. I think Tyson Nam was kind of like a little bit cocky that he thought he was going to get that finish the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He did the same against Kai Kara-France.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, like
missed that
really
fight.
like probably the better striker,
Yeah.
but like just not being active and waiting for like an opportunity. And so Kara-France was landing more strikes the same way that Schnell was.
Yeah.
And then Tyson wasn't really doing anything about it.
I was thinking that like the center position, like controlling the octagon space might like give Tyson some of those rounds a little bit more.
Yeah.
Because the strikes being exchanged, you know, if you weren't listening to commentators like, you know, kind of influence you on them,
Yeah.
they were pretty similar. It was almost like as if Tyson was landing 1 or 2 and Schnell was landing like 3 or 4.
Yeah.
You know, but Tyson seemed a little harder, but Schnell's weren't far behind.
Yeah.
I do think it was a good decision that Schnell won.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had him picked. But I had him because I thought he had more like roads to victory in that fight.
Oh, yeah?
Like, because he's got good wrestling and a tight ground game too. So I thought he'd try and take Nam down.
He didn't use it at all.
No.
He just wanted to kind of like
He's
meet him
good
in the
there
middle.
too, though.
Yeah.
But yeah, put on a show. That fight was so cool, man.
Yeah, Nam I'd like to see more like range of like strikes come through, you know, more to think about than like these 2 looping hooks coming from each side.
Yeah.
Yeah, more of a jab would be good too. And but yeah, you can't just throw the same 2 punches all fight and expect to win.
Yeah.
You know, you see a lot of people that they'll just throw so much at you. You're always blocking the last thing, which is exactly what they want, and they hit you in the other spot. But
Yeah.
yeah, that would work a bit better for him, I think.
Yeah. I think Schnell is almost ranked after that.
It wasn't like 15 and like a rank 9, I thought.
Was it? I'm not sure.
I thought
check.
Nam might have been 15 and Schnell was like 9. I think Schnell was definitely ranked higher.
They're bantamweights, right? Oh, unless they're like flyweights.
Yeah, I thought I remembered that Schnell was higher ranking than Nam.
Yeah, Schnell's ranked 8 now.
Yeah.
Nam 15th.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So there's some fun fights from there.
It was almost like Nam was like acting as if he was like the higher ranked guy because he was like up on himself on these knockouts he's got.
Yeah, he put up that confidence.
Yeah.
During the fight. Lots of like smiling and that sort of stuff too. Like almost like condescendingly after like Schnell might miss something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
you know, you fall harder when you do these sort of things, but it does make it better.
Yeah. Makes it fun to watch. Talked about it already, Roxanne and Vivi.
Yeah, as we said before, Vivi might be our girl to watch, you know, but get a bit more, get a bit better cardio.
Yeah.
She's got good cardio, but a bit better would help her a lot. And, you know, just keep getting those like fights in there, get that experience because she's going to go from like good to like master.
Yeah.
She is. She's going to be someone to watch.
I think at that level, that is going to be like the main problem against people like when they get to like Lauren Murphy and Andrade and those type of people. That's going to be a bigger problem.
Yeah, yeah. There's actually good people in women's flyweight now. Which
it's
is
coming
like,
up a lot.
It's nurtured. It's being nurtured and starting to grow. You know, like is that the same weight class? Jess is in Jessica Rose Clark.
Oh, it could be.
You know, I'd really like to see her like be able to get through like 3 fights in a year without getting a damn injury. I've been watching her for years. You know, since she was in the local circuit, like hitting like a truck. You know, rooting against her when she was fighting people like Kyra and stuff like that.
Yeah, of course.
And but you know, she's been consistent. She's been winning a lot. She's been getting better this whole time, but she gets injuries all the time.
Yeah.
You know, I just want to see her in there for longer.
It's so cool seeing people from like the area come up. It's rad.
Except some people that you like grew up not liking. Not going to name any names.
Yet.
Yeah. I go after countries, not people.
So after Vivian Roxy, we had Ike Villanueva versus Vinicius Morea.
This was the last fight that I saw, so I didn't even get to see the Wally Alves fight.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that was a cool fight, man.
Oh, man. Yeah, no, I saw this one. This is the one where that Brazilian cat was trying to play that long guard and those like leg kicks and stuff.
Yeah.
And who was he up against? A bit of a Polynesian fella.
Ike Villanueva?
Yeah.
I think he's from Texas.
Really?
Yeah. He might have a heritage, but big Texas.
Yeah. That guy looks like he could like put on like a good like pork roast, you know what I'm saying? Like he looks like he'd be like very friendly, but very like not the person to fuck with. And I think our boy found out, you know, like he's just like you know, his guard wasn't proper. He's like, you know, kind of up here with his like guard just like kind of open for uppercuts. And what do he got? He got hit with a like really good right hook, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of like
for a big boy, Ike's got fast hands, man.
Yeah.
Came real quick.
Yeah. But like what's that guy gonna be like when he hits round 2, when he hits late round 3? That's where you get the questions of these sort of guys, you know.
That's worrisome. But that's the problem with like most heavyweights.
Yeah.
Really.
Anything
they can all hit hard,
welterweight.
but like
Yeah.
What was that, sorry?
Anything over welterweight almost. Like
yeah.
You know, like you get these middleweight guys, very rarely that you get them in middleweight, but like you do get them, you know, they're just like out of shape. They swing hard. They're almost like Roy Nelsons, you know?
Yeah.
Like they're really good for like 1 round or like half of the first round. And then they just like, there's no point watching them after that.
It's just not they're not going to get anywhere against like a top 15 guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Especially like middleweights. The level there is so high.
Yeah. The light heavyweights, you know, you still see a bit of chub, you know, and I couldn't be one to talk, we know that. But, you know, the heavyweights, it gets ridiculous, you know, like there's just some guys that are like, this guy's like played like 10 years of footy and had 1 fight and he's in the UFC, you know, like.
Yeah. Just to go off topic a little bit, did you see that fight on 1FC, the heavyweight fight? It was that Elaine Nglani?
And I don't know how to say his last name, yeah.
And Rug.
Yeah, well, I saw the end of it. Yeah.
That dude was like I don't know where he's from, but like a wrestler from there, where they'd wrestle in like sand pits and shit.
Oh, right, yeah.
Like
right.
I want to say Sudan, but I'm probably wrong.
It's okay. We'll go with Sudan.
We'll go with Sudan. Like Sudanese wrestling. Yeah. So like, yeah, they're like wearing almost nothing in like this massive stadium, and it's just sand. Yeah, and they're just trying to toss each other. It's brutal, man.
It's, it makes tough people, I guess.
Yeah, it has to.
Yeah, because our buddy the Panther, he didn't end up too well. He was kind of protesting it too, wasn't he? Like,
yeah, I don't know though, man.
Yeah, I guess a lot of people like to protest.
It's easy to protest when you're not out.
Yeah,
and like you probably think you're doing enough to defend, but
yeah, probably like the optics are a lot worse than you understand when
you never really get it when you're in there.
Yeah,
Alves versus Lizez.
So tell me what happened.
Have you seen any of Lizez's fights?
No,
I think he's only had one in the UFC, but he's got like super cocky kickboxing.
Like good cocky kickboxing? Like you're enjoying watching it, and he's like,
you're like, man, I hope this guy gets clocked.
All right, that's also great to watch.
Yeah, still great to watch, but like you're not on his clocked. Team. Like it's not like it's just like the big cocky grin the whole time, and like but he's stunning, man. He's got a lot of cool knockouts, a lot of big head kicks, like flashy kickboxing.
He looked like a heavier weight. What weight class is that?
That was welterweight.
All right, shit.
Yeah, welterweight.
He's just got a big weapon head.
Yeah. Have you seen much of Wally Alves?
I've seen a little bit of Wally Alves.
Yeah, he like choked out Colby Covington, and
right.
I think he beat Nadine Taleb, that guy.
Yeah, that guy's like up and coming.
He's good too.
Isn't he? Yeah.
Yeah, Wally knocked him out not early in the first. They had a brief little like clinch. Wally like put him back to the cage, landing a couple things, and then just backed off 3 consecutive body kicks, and Lizez went down.
Oh!
First one was like flat under the elbow, massive, like perfect. And then he blocked the last 2, but you could tell he was still going down.
Oh, it doesn't matter at that point, eh?
No, nothing worse.
Oh, yeah. Imagine having that in like a UFC stage, like you've just been kicked in the body, you feel like you need to shit, Yeah. It's like halfway between getting kicked in the balls and really needing to shit.
Yeah. Oh. That's such a tough fight for Lizez for his like second UFC fight though.
Yeah.
Because Wally was like a 3-time Brazilian kickboxing champion.
Shit.
Yeah. And he's like a beast on the ground too.
Yeah.
So like, I actually picked Lizez for that one just because I wanted to kind of see the new guy do well.
Yeah.
But no, Alves showed up.
Well, it's good to see. Now he's become one to watch. He's on a co-main on a not a big card at a terrible international time as well.
Yeah.
I don't want to know how many people tuned into this. It was just not
at least one. It was me.
Yeah, might have just been you. Sorry.
I think it was.
It was just, between 2 big cards, it's in the middle of the week, it's on a bad, time schedule, it was doomed to fail from the start.
It was midnight here.
Yeah, you put Neil Magny on in the main fight, look, Neil Magny, he's awesome, but he's like a shutdown king.
Yeah.
He puts a good, stop to every hype train, he's the king of gatekeepers, in a good way.
I don't think he'd see it that way, but you're absolutely right.
Yeah, no one's going to see a gatekeeper as a compliment, but honestly, you're at the top level, and people aren't at the top level unless they can beat you, and people who have done awesome in the UFC, like Kelvin Gastelum,
yeah,
his hype train stopped by Neil Magny, and Kelvin Gastelum made Adesanya look beatable in striking,
Yeah, that was crazy, man.
Insanely good, and you got Neil Magny just nah, it's all good. I'll just I'll stop that.
It's a hard no.
Yeah, he's great at giving the hard nose, but Chiesa, our boy,
out wrestled him 5 rounds straight. Looked good. Not the most entertaining fight, but
you got to
win's a
appreciate
win,
it,
man.
right?
Especially at that level.
Yeah, Chiesa's one of the guys you should kind of watch and try and do that when you go in the gym, because it's just control. It's it's slow, but it's really well thought out, and it's gonna get you to where the win is.
Yeah.
Don't know what happened against Kevin Lee. Maybe he got a little too emotional, but he's been looking good ever since.
I haven't picked against him since he got mad at Kevin Lee talking shit about his mom.
Yeah,
he's a big mama's boy.
Yeah,
so
me too.
I can't help but side with him for everything ever.
Yeah, you know, like I like his mullet too. He's a mama's boy, you know, he's a handsome chap. He's hard not to like.
Yeah.
You know? You know, he's even pretty well spoken. You see him as an analyst, you know, like he's good to watch, and it's good to see him do well. You know, I think it's the good fight to be like that. You know, you don't have the high ratings, but you're moving up in the rankings against like a really good fighter.
Well,
you know,
that
with
puts him in
solid
a
win.
spot. Like I was thinking maybe against like Colby.
Ooh. Now, wouldn't that be good?
I reckon that'd be a sick fight.
Yeah, because that...
I don't know if it's too much too early, but I reckon it'd still be good.
Yeah, like that's the best way to say it. Because like he's been doing really good against these guys, but is he ready? Because Colby's like, you know...
Yeah, well,
Colby's where the action is.
I think a lot of people were counting him out against Magny, though.
Yeah. You know...
Yeah.
I was like...
Exactly like you said.
Magny level?
Yeah.
Yeah, and he has now. So, perfect example. Let's put him up against Colby.
Yeah, that's a
actually
cool
really
fight. Usman and Burns coming up too.
Good. Ooh.
Cool fight, man.
Why does that have to be on Valentine's Day?
Is it on Valentine's Day?
It's on Valentine's Day, you know? I'm going to have to watch that one as a replay later on. But, like, man, I really want to see that because I really think that he's, like, a better version of Usman.
Burns could be the guy, I reckon.
Yeah. Oh, man. I could really look stupid in a couple of weeks. We'll find out.
We'll see, man. Like, I feel like just because of the way the characters are, I've been tuning out of welterweight a little bit. Because, like, I just don't find anyone likable.
Yeah, no, they're not likable.
Like, at that highest level.
Yeah, like, Tyron Woodley's just... He likes to be boring while fighting. He's like, I don't care, I'm going to get the win. And then he doesn't get the win, and that's just, like, so hateable.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, Usman, like, thinks he's the man, and, you know, he's the champion. I guess he is the man.
It was him that came out, and he was like, that was 70%.
Yeah.
Was that him?
That
Jesus.
was him.
That was the moment I went, oh, fuck this guy.
Yeah. Like, all the nicknames, you know, Snoozeman, Marty Fake Newsman, you know, like, you enjoy it when he gets called it, you know?
When Askren called him Marty from Nebraska.
Oh, man. Askren, why'd you have to let us down? It could have been a good fight against Usman, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not likable either, really. Like Colby, you know, like you're either right into it or you're right against it. You know, me as a pro wrestling fan, I kind of enjoy it.
Yeah. Well, I want to vote against Colby.
Yeah.
But there's no one fighting him that I like enough. And Kiesa's that dude.
Yeah. You know what, though? A good fight for Chiesa would actually be Woodley as well. Because, like, that's a really winnable fight, and then he knows that he can beat the welterweight champion or beat someone who's had the belt. Yeah, that would be what he needs to beat Colby. Like, maybe if he fought Colby now, you know, Colby's got that stand-up pressure.
He's good everywhere as much as I dislike him. He is really good everywhere.
He's a really good fighter, like, just overall. Like, let's not say that his stand-up's crisp or anything like that.
Oh, it's threatening.
Yeah, and it's like, it's enough to like make you think about it enough to get taken down, and then like he just eats your soul once he starts getting that forward pressure, you know?
Yeah.
So is a great game, you know? Like the game that he brings, the game plan that he sticks to, and like how good he is at executing it.
Yeah.
It makes him really good. Like Usman was lucky he got that stoppage. Colby was going to win that decision, I thought, for sure.
Yeah.
But he was really, like, eating some damage in that, like, when it got finished.
Yeah.
It was just getting worse and worse for him, but he'd done enough to win.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, welterweight. It's exciting at the moment.
Yeah, coming up. I think it was the one person I found myself, like, strongly going against Colby with was RDA.
Yeah.
And he just didn't show up. Or, like, just got shut down, I suppose. Like, didn't have any options.
With RDA, you know, that's fucking impressive.
Yeah, he's a beast.
That's when, like, most people should have been sold on, like, Tony Ferguson. Like, when most people were, when he, like, that fight with RDA, like...
He was fucking around with him.
Yeah. That was a good calf kick fight, actually.
Yeah, it was too.
Tony Ferguson and his awkward ways of doing things, but it just looks like it fucking hurts, you know? Like, and he just does more and more and more. Like, that's when a lot of people, like, kind of really saw what Tony can do.
Yeah.
But, like, that's just, honestly, that's my way of saying that RDA is good because he's a good benchmark, you know? Like, the things he did to Robbie Lawler, you know? Like,
oh, yeah.
You know, former lightweight champion, you know? Like... And it was obvious that he was going to win that belt when he did. Like, the things he was doing, and he was up against Pettis, who just wasn't good against that sort of game plan.
Yeah.
You know, like it was like a pretty safe bet that RDA was going to take that, I thought. You know, he's a good fighter, and, you know, Colby smashed him. Couldn't believe it.
Yeah, made it look easy too.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, man. Colby Covington. I want to see more. Get back in there.
Yeah. Then we had the fight last week. Or the fights last week. So first one on the card was Mariana Rodriguez and Amanda Ribas.
Oh, yeah. And it turned out to, like, be everything you were, like, kind of, like, hoping the main card was going to get to.
Yeah. It was a good one. Yeah. Rodriguez looked awesome.
Yeah.
Like, really, really good.
Yeah, and, like, you know, there's a lot of people watching that. That was a really good fight for her, you know?
Yeah.
Like, to have that and, like...
Ribas had a bit of hype to her as well.
Yeah.
She was doing well. More of, like, a grappler, though.
Yeah.
But, like, it was a classic grappler striking fight.
Yeah, which you don't see too much of anymore, you know? And it's, like, good to see when it goes well. Like, it's always better when the striker wins that fight, honestly.
Yeah, of course. You find yourself voting for the more, like, entertaining person, and it's always kind of going to be the striker.
Yeah, really. Like, you know, seeing someone go flatlined is, you know... It's good seeing someone, like, gasping for air, just getting the shit beat out of him. Like, let's not go against that. Or, like, a slick sub, but... Yeah, you kind of want to see the striker win that match.
Oh, and that was the one Herb Dean sort of cooked a little.
Oh, yeah, he gave her the double stoppage, basically.
Yeah.
Like,
Did you see the memes going around, like, Herb Dean got curved by Rivers in the jacuzzi the night before?
Oh, Herbie boy. He's good, but he always gets, like, ribbed hard by the internet when he makes a bad choice. But honestly, like... He's definitely, like, one of the best. He's in the top 3.
Such a hard job, man.
Yeah. I wouldn't enjoy doing it.
Yeah. After them was Andrew Sanchez and Makhmud Muradov.
Now, Makhmud Muradov, if I take a look. Yeah, this was the gentleman that's master of combat or master of sports.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah.
In MMA and wrestling, I think.
Yeah. And, you know, like, that's a pretty high title to have. But, you know, when we were talking about that fight, like, Darcy was talking about it, actually.
Yeah.
You know, the Master of Sports, that's a high title. Like, that's the same title that Khabib's dad had.
Yeah, know? Wow.
So, you know, you're expecting intense things. Like, he did well, but what I was saying to the group there is, like, you know, you never bet against the Meth Billies because they're good. You know? Like, who's our boy? Like, give me my camo shorts, you know? Like,
Bryce Mitchell.
Yeah, you know?
Oh, yeah. He's fun to watch, man.
Yeah, they're good, you know? Like, they're always, like, in there for a good fight, you know? And he put up a good fight. Like, a lot of the times, like, I was thinking he could come back and take this, but he didn't.
It was close, though.
Yeah. You know, that might be this guy's fight. If this guy's going to be good, that's his, like, Khabib versus, who's the cat that everyone thought that, like, did a good fight against him coming up?
Oh, shit. I don't remember, man.
Gleison Tebow.
That's right. Yeah.
That's his Khabib versus Tebow fight because, like, our meth Billy boy did good. And, like, I'm not saying that you do meth, man, if you hear this, but, like, you know, your mullet just screams that you're from the area where they enjoy it.
You're playing into the meth Billy.
Yeah. You're leaning into that, and that's not my fault.
Yeah, it didn't look like a Master of Sport performance.
Yeah, no.
Not
like,
at all.
It was like, you know, ahead on most parts of the fight, and, you know, he was in great shape.
He was getting hit, though.
Yeah.
Like a good amount.
He was getting hit. He wasn't winning. Like, he wasn't stopping things that he didn't want to happen from happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What weight? Do you remember the weight class that was?
I thought it was lightweight off memory.
Lightweight, okay. Yeah. After that, Joanne Calderwood and Jessica Ai.
Yeah, as we were sort of saying before, you know, Joanne Calderwood looking better than we've seen her, I think.
Ever, for sure.
Yeah, you know.
Like, super impressed.
It'd be good to, like, see her kind of, like, really get a good capture mentally on, like, her fight game.
Yeah.
I feel like she's good, but she could be great.
Yeah.
You know? She could be, like, she's got, like, a really good team. Like, the people that she fights with, there's a lot of girls in her weight class in that gym and a lot of good striking coaches.
Which gym is it, sorry?
It's that one in LA, I'm pretty sure. She trains with Jessie Jess, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, okay, yeah.
She's dating a striking coach, I'm pretty sure. And, like, he's really good. But I forget the name. Sorry, guys.
No, it's Google it.
Yeah, she could get really good, and I'd like to see it. I feel like there's a little bit of like psychology that would like take her over that edge.
Yeah.
Yeah, but looking good now, beating Jessica Ai.
Yeah.
Is, like, can we quickly talk about this? Like, Henry Cejudo called himself the king of cringe. Like, Jessica Ai is like, hold my fucking beer. And everyone start chanting, here we go, evil, here we go. Because oh my God, like everything that woman does, like just, you can only look at it like the way you can look at Meet the Parents. You're like, this is funny because it's so cringe.
I don't even look at it, man. I look away.
Oh man, like when she's like about to miss weight and she's like, I can't believe no one's even asking me how well I'm doing. Like, because we're fucking mad at you. Like, just fucking get your shit together, Like, when she said that she's proud of herself because, like, she didn't miss weight by too much. Just fucking make weight. We could be proud of that, Like, oh, my God. And, it's just like she's so oblivious to it. She thinks that she's the man, and it's making it so much more cringy. And Henry Cejudo must be just jealous. Like, he could never live up to that because his is, like, actually trying to be cringy. She's just naturally perfect at it.
See, like I've never seen someone back themselves like that after missing weight.
Yeah,
it's normal. Like it's something to be ashamed of.
Yeah,
and it should be kind of like it's your one job.
Yeah,
it's not like she took the fight on late notice.
And look, we can sympathize with some things. Like if you're internationally traveling, surely that's got to be difficult.
Yeah,
they
100%.
say hormones for women. Their menstrual cycle can make a big difference.
Yeah,
understandable, but like we're not ever going to just like be like, oh, it's okay. You made weight. You didn't make weight. Like, there's ways to lose weight, like you've done it. I've done it, like I lost like 3 kilos in a day. I don't know what that is in pounds, but they'd be like, oh,
like 9-ish, 10-ish.
Yeah. Like it's,
guess.
Yeah. And like, honestly, I could have done more.
Yeah.
But from a high weight class. So you got a bit more to lose.
Yeah.
Let's not get too far into it. But make weight. Don't ever be proud of yourself for like just almost not making weight.
That's not something I want to see become a trend.
Yeah. But, ONE FC's got better ways of like controlling the weight and stuff like that.
They should all be doing that, really.
Yeah. UFC doesn't like to follow trends of the other organizations. And
it's just so silly though. You just everyone's heard the arguments.
Yeah.
Like,
they still keep their shitty gloves, and like you still got those like eye pokes like ruining so many fights. But, everyone says the UFC gloves are like the worst ones. It's the same ones they used to use like in the late 90s. I don't know, maybe they've changed them in the recent years, but I don't know. It doesn't look even slightly different. So
not noticeable, at least. Yeah. After them was Dan Hooker and Michael Chandler.
What was your thoughts on this one?
I thought Hooker was going to have it.
Yeah?
And I wasn't certain about that. I knew everyone was sleeping on Chandler.
Yeah.
But I didn't think it would go down like that.
I got to agree with you, Like, I thought this is like... Hooker's like the counter to Michael Chandler.
Yeah.
Like, he's got that high knee and like... It comes in past the threshold of where you start losing power when he throws it. And he still knocks people the fuck out with it. Like,
often, too.
I was really surprised when he beat Pearson. And then,
that was such a good knockout.
Yeah, that was like me thinking, like, oh shit, we've got like a Oceania boy actually like in there with a chance, And when he was fighting Dustin, like I'm a big Dustin Poirier fan. I was so worried that whole fight that he's gonna eat that knee, and like he almost did like a lot. Like
I had Dan winning like at least that first round.
Yeah, he was doing so well, man.
Yeah,
like he was more dangerous than Dustin was. Mm-hmm. Dustin was doing more to win. And, like, the fact that he's so dangerous, the fact that he's so long for that weight class, and, like, the fact that he's got that knee counter when Michael Chandler's this, like, short, stocky, like, like, really small for the weight class, but, like, just powerful, like, power wrestler, like, going in there with, like, face first with his takedowns. I was like... And, like, when you're watching the fight, you're watching Michael Chandler try and work his way through this force field of just, like, KO damage to, like, get in the range.
Yeah.
Like, it looked like Chandler was, like, gonna, like, get knocked out. And then, boom. He does that same switch, left cross and, like, same one he, like, kind of... Not the exact same one, but a very similar one that what he got Benson Henderson on with recently.
Yeah. Well, like great way of closing range, especially as like a shorter guy.
Yeah.
Like threw it towards like the way Dan was circling.
Yeah.
Like,
Change stance
worked.
too, you know, like so you're not like sure if he's going to go for that takedown, and then he just like throws that hard left, and follow up strikes are really good. But I think Hooker was still awake. You know.
Oh yeah, but like.
Yeah, is it a KO or a TKO? Is the sort of question.
Oh, is that the? Did they give him a KO?
I think they gave him a KO, but I feel like that might have been fairer to say a TKO. You know, I think our boy Justin, our boy Hooker, Dan Hooker.
Yeah. Verdict says TKO. But verdict also says Connor was a KO.
I think Connor kind of maybe. We'll get into that.
Yeah. Just on Chandler, so cool to have like another person in this already like ridiculous mix of people at lightweight.
Yeah, and so good to have like another champ of another organization come over. Yeah, well, who's the other fight that they could put? Yeah, if they put him up against Gaethje, you've got the World Series of Fighting champion versus the Bellator champion.
That's such a cool fight, man.
And UFC brings in all the revenue. Yeah. You got to give it to him, man.
I could see like clear as day Bellator getting behind Chandler and then World Series of Fighting getting behind Gaethje and making it a thing.
Yeah.
That'd be dope, man.
And I've been like, you know, I've been singing praises about Chandler for a while, you know. I've been really keen to see him get into the UFC because I fucking hate when people just think someone's shit because they're not in the UFC.
Yeah, him and Lima are the two guys that I like. It kills me when people say like, oh no, they're all trash. They're not even in the UFC.
Oh my God. Like, you don't understand. Like, you know, there's some guys in the UFC that you're like, you
shouldn't fucking be here, dude.
Yeah, you know, and like, you know, I think, you know, there's a lot of times where people just think like anyone in like the top like 10 to 15 in the UFC could beat like every Bellator champion. It's simply not true.
Not even close.
Like, not even, There's so much more like, a lot of these guys that are Bellator champions, they're experienced pros. You know, they're vets. They've been doing it in the big lights for years. Like, well, they're big lights. It's not as big, but, you know, Chandler's a good example, you know?
Yeah.
And, like, he came in, like, he did look a little nervous at the start, but then, like, he took it over and, like, you know, he cut a good promo on the mic after as well. You know, like, it was good to see.
It was a lot, but respect it.
Yeah, he, like, you know, with that, like, I don't know, that haircut and stuff, he reminded me like Randy Orton, but yeah, it's like the Randy Orton of the UFC coming in here, you know, like actually working on the mic, trying to get some, like, it was good to see. I was glad to see it.
Yeah. It makes for a fun couple fights.
Yeah.
For sure.
Where do you even put him up against next?
I think Gaethje, man.
Yeah, that's a perfect fight to make.
Just before we go into like the Conor Dustin fight, I wrote down a couple fights that I want to see in lightweight.
Oh, yeah, nice.
So I had Dustin Oliveira.
Oh, yeah. I feel like
it's the only one that makes sense.
Of course, yeah.
Chandler Gaethje, Ferguson and Hooker.
Yep.
And just because of the way after Max's fight, he said he wasn't necessarily chasing a title. He was more chasing like legacy fights.
Yeah.
Fuck it, give him Conor.
Yeah, that would be a good fight.
Conor at lightweight.
Yeah.
And I'm the last person, like I hate when fighters like jump up and down weight classes like all the time and it kind of disrupts stuff.
Yeah, it's not good. But
I'd watch that.
Yeah, I'd watch that in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
But I actually kind of thought the only one you missed on that was like Ferguson versus Conor. I think that's a good fight.
That's a cool fight too, definitely.
Yeah. Both guys coming off a loss, but like you've wanted to see them fight before. Like, let's do it now while they're both available. You know, they're not booked.
It's a good time for it. Yeah. You're absolutely right.
But yeah, no, that's good actually. Max versus Conor, that's more of a marquee fight.
Oh, it'd be huge.
It's a rematch again.
I feel like the only reason the Ferguson one maybe wouldn't happen because he's off 2 losses. Yeah. And one of them was, well, they're actually both kind of real bad.
Yeah. No, they were really bad. I just kind of like...
I'm not saying that's not a fight I want to see, by the way. Like, I really want to see Ferguson-Conor.
Yeah, like, I feel like it's a very winnable fight for both fighters.
Yeah.
You know, like, it just kind of depends on what happens in the first round.
Oh, if it goes to the second, I think it's game over for Conor.
Yeah.
Maybe third. Like, actually, he didn't look good in that second against Poirier.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that one, actually.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
Conor looked great first round.
He did. He looked scary. Like, his jab was doing a lot of damage.
I was chewing my nails down for Dustin because same shit. Dustin's my boy.
Who'd you pick for it?
I had Connor.
You had Connor going into it?
I had Connor second round knockout.
Who'd you pick for the first one?
The first fight between them?
Yeah.
I think I picked Dustin just because I was, and for like such a long time, I picked everyone who fought Connor just because I didn't like him. And I just let like my bias take over. Like I was picking on what I wanted to see, not what I thought was actually going to happen.
I was exactly the same. I was like, everyone except the Diego Brandau fight. I was like,
oh yeah.
And maybe not the, who's the German cat who does the spinning back kick?
Dennis Seaver.
Yeah, maybe not that one. Those ones I was picking for Connor.
Yeah.
But like Dustin, I thought Dustin was like, you know, he's not going to bitch out against Connor. He's going to bring like a lot of heat that Connor like, you know, hadn't felt yet. Like he's the only like proper vet that Connor's going to fight. And then boom.
Holy shit.
I was so mad about it too because like that shot definitely hit the back of the head, but it wasn't even mentioned at all.
You can see every time Connor like knocks someone down, he looks for it. He looks for that like barely legal shot behind the head.
Yeah, because he's smart, you know. Like,
I mean, it's working.
He wins in more ways than just like, you know, normal ways.
Yeah.
Like you look at a cowboy fight, for example.
Jesus, yeah.
And that's a thing that I really got to give Connor that I really like is I like seeing people win in it like unconventional ways. Like some people like even say something like, you know, some of it is dirty, but I like sometimes honestly I like watching it. Like I'd really love to see someone just go, oh, what's that? And like knock someone out. I reckon it'd be the most hilarious thing ever. And then, you know, just like, oh, defend yourself at all times. You know, like Yoel Romero, every Yoel Romero fight, I was like, this is hilarious. Just keep doing it. Sit on the stool longer. Cover yourself in more water. No one cares. It's awesome. But like, yeah, so Connor's a bit like that. He's smart, but yeah. When I was I watched a clip maybe a year ago where it's Connor rewatching that Dustin Poirier fight, and there was a little bit of a tell in that like clip where you watch it and Connor's like, ready, we exchange hooks here, and then like you watch it and they do, and Dustin almost like he kind of got the better one, and you're like that kind of like gives you a little bit of a window into Connor's psyche, like. He remembered that Dustin was good.
Yeah.
You know, he remembered that was like a skilled striker he was up against.
Definitely.
You know, but I really didn't think that that Dustin had it mentally to come back off a guy that knocked him out, you know, like fight the McGregor show, because that's part of the fight is like the show that comes with it.
Definitely.
You know, and like come back like that. Like, you know, Connor's looking good in the first, like hurting him, but like.
Yeah. I remembered against Khabib, Dustin doing some like not characteristic things that he would normally do. Like I think he opened with like an overhand right. Yeah. And I was like, oh, is this getting to him?
Yeah.
And then like you look back at the first Conor fight and he had like even at that point he was big.
Yeah.
And like I was thinking maybe he doesn't do so well in like big fights.
Yeah, which
it gets to him.
A
totally
lot of people
fine.
do. A lot of people do. They get up to the big plate and, for lack of a better term, they choke.
Yeah.
You know? And I didn't think he would against Khabib, but when he did, that's why I thought that he wouldn't beat Conor.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, boom, starts throwing those calf kicks.
Couple calf kicks, yeah.
And honestly, going into the second round, wasn't what I was thinking about.
No.
I didn't think, oh, Connor's leg's fucked. I was like, I'd really like to see that kind of like lead overhand, I think that he kind of hit Connor with on the replay, but of course they just showed the Connor replays in between it. Like just that one jab, that cross that wobbled him.
That was good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Scary.
And, I didn't think that it was. I was surprised that Dustin was like still in there and doing well. But I thought that, you know, because he copped that large cross in the first one, that he's probably just going to eat another one in the second one. It was a bit like when he was fighting Hooker. I was more worried for Dustin than I was thinking that he was doing well.
Yeah.
But then, boom, starts like really starting to hurt Connor, right?
Yeah. And it was coming across that Connor was checking those calf kicks as well. Like he was turning out into them at least.
Yeah.
But like I don't know how conditioned his shins are.
Yeah, and
because it looked like he was checking them.
Yeah, he was checking, but like he ate the first one clean.
Yep.
And when that muscle starts swelling, like you can kind of like eat one on the shin and you'll still feel it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like it's like almost like swollen to the point where getting the shin's still getting that muscle.
Yeah.
Still hurting him. And like all of a sudden we're watching Connor and he's not throwing with like intent anymore. He's like kind of just like throwing to like have hands in the mix. And you're like, wait a second, what's going on here? Because Dustin Poirier, man, when you start getting hurt by Dustin Poirier, it's a bad fucking time for you. Like the dude comes out and he's got this southpaw style that's like really crisp and like a lot of looping like shots and stuff, but they're so accurate and like cumulative. And like, yeah, kind of like loses the middle position. You're like, wait a second, this is like, and then he starts throwing these combos and you're thinking to yourself, maybe like, you know, don't go too wild against Connor because, you know, he's a sniper.
Oh, yeah.
You know, he could like right there, that could have been his spot to come back.
I thought it was a bad move when he started opening up like that. I was like, oh.
And then he like ducks into that shot and bloody, you know, he kind of eats that sort of shovel hook that Dustin threw in his face. It's like he just got farted in his nose. He's like, oh. And then he's down and you're like, holy shit. It was like similar to like when like Weidman knocked down Anderson Silva. Like, okay, well, like this is the part where Connor gets back up.
And then just
boom. Eats a couple more. They step in. You're like, holy fucking shit. Connor's down there like, holy fucking shit. And fucking Dustin's wife's just like, yeah.
So good, man. Such a good moment. There were like a good amount of dudes in UFC fight kits with Connor's name on them at the bar I was at.
Oh, you watch it at the bar? Yeah. Oh, man.
It was rowdy, man.
Yeah.
It was good.
Shit. Yeah, because like Connor's these days, he's kind of like got like half of the people that watch the fights are like people that hate him, half the people love him, you know?
Yeah.
And I feel like he almost kind of started a little slow. Like I feel like he wanted to give you more than 30 seconds of action this time.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's like his biggest kind of like detriment. Like when he hit that like shot that kind of like wobbled Dustin, he wasn't really chasing it, wasn't following it up too much.
No.
And
he's normally fairly patient with that though.
Yeah, like you look at the closing combo in Cowboy, you know, like he's just like he's throwing like fight-ending shots like at least every couple seconds.
Yeah, he was putting more on him.
Yeah.
He
kind of like almost like was like, yeah, you know, like my leg's a little bit sore, but like his chin's starting to hurt, like wilt. So maybe I'll start working him down as it goes. And then second round just didn't go the way he wanted.
Yeah. Did you see what Zahabi said about it?
No, what is that?
He reckons as soon as shit gets tough, Connor just quits.
Ooh, that's harsh, but statistically, it's a touch accurate.
It looks that way a little, huh?
Yeah.
When he shot on Nate?
Yeah. Yeah, he wasn't
I think he shot with
like,
intention to like not get knocked out.
Yeah, he wasn't going to take more shots standing and like, what, is he going to beat Nate Diaz on the ground? Hell no. No. But you give it to him in the second fight against Nate.
Tough fight.
He had some spots where you thought he was going to be done. And he came back. I'm like, still, if one judge gave one round to Nate, he doesn't win that fight. That's how close it was. But
who did you have in that fight?
I had Nate, but you know, like I love Nate, and like you know, whilst I like to try my best to be fair and give credit where it's due, you know, like I can't enjoy like Conor win too much, you know, unless it's, I don't know. I enjoyed the Alvarez win for some reason.
Yeah.
I would have enjoyed if he beat Floyd Mayweather. I'm just trying to give a little bit of my psyche as to where I see Conor here. You know, like, you know, right now, obviously, I feel for the guy, seeing him come off that loss. You know, he seems very humble, but
that was the nicest we've ever seen him too.
Yeah.
That sucked, seeing him be like a super nice guy, donate $500,000 to Dustin's charity, and then Dustin beats the piss out of him.
Yeah, and like he wasn't even a dickhead like going into the fight too. Like he mentioned a couple times that like, you know, he's remembering that knockout and he promised us a masterpiece, and you know, he didn't not put on a show, but it wasn't a masterpiece in his way.
No. I thought it was going to look like the Alvarez fight.
Yeah?
Yeah.
The Alvarez
and I was super unhappy about that because, again, massive Dustin fan, but like Conor just thrives against aggressive strikers. Who aren't necessarily clean strikers.
Yeah, I think that's where the difference is. Dustin's a lot cleaner and a lot more precise than Alvarez.
Yeah,
Alvarez swings hard and he swings to the fences, and like, that one was like a really kind of easy pick. That like, this is Conor's fight. Like, he's gonna be the first double champ. No one's gonna see it until now. And like, good for him. He got it, you know? And
Yeah.
like, it was good. It almost like stepped the UFC up to like the entertainment era, you know? Like,
Yeah.
for the longest time, it was like a hardcore fan base. And then he wins that second belt. Like, he beat Aldo and that kind of stepped him up, you know? Like, as your mate was saying earlier, you know, he made the UFC as big as it is today. But he's almost like, you know, and people probably getting sick of the WWE references,
Yeah.
but like the Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
You know, like, you know, when you really get a superstar that people want to tune in to see, like the whole thing gets bigger. And soon enough, there'll be another one.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, definitely. 100%. Well, I mean, Izzy might be looking that way.
Izzy might be looking that way. He's nowhere near as good on the mic, though.
No.
Like, he
Connor's
tries
different.
to cut the promos.
I mean,
but
it's good. It's
Yeah.
still better than what most people are doing.
yeah. He has something to say,
Yeah.
but it's like, you know, he's got to find his voice almost.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, you know, like,
How do you think his fight with Jan goes?
I hate this fight. Because, you know, I'm a big Robert Whittaker fan.
Yeah.
So it's really hard for me to like Izzy after what he did to Robert. And that's all credit to Israel Adesanya. But, like, you know, Robert's our national treasure and he, you know, he took his title. He gave him a blood nose and it was upsetting. And, like, this is a good fight for him. You know, it's a dangerous fight for him. Like, it is a winnable fight for Jan. But,
Yeah.
you know, Jan's got to kind of, like, he's got to, if he was throwing a lot of calf kicks, you know, that would be like his way in on this one.
Maybe. I'm almost assuming that Izzy would like not be there for him.
Not be there
it's
for a
like
calf kick.
for the amount of kickboxing fights he's been in,
Yeah.
you would assume he's at least got that dialed in.
Well, it's just because Jan's way to a win, like, it's not really by grappling. Like, Izzy's too slippery, you know?
Well, I've been sort of talking about this with a couple of friends. It's not like his takedown defense is good, but like in the way that like Ish used to say about subs, his takedown like prevention is like really good.
yeah.
Like the way he moves as people would be coming in, like they don't actually have the opportunity to shoot.
Yeah, and he does a good way of, like, keeping it so when they're shooting, they're always too far away.
Yeah.
And, like, if they do get close, he scrambles like fucking crazy. Granby
Yeah.
rolling everything, you know? It's like you've fucking caught a cat.
Yeah.
You know? It's just, like, moving everywhere. It, like, yeah. Jan's not going to be able to tie him up and, like, get, like, a knockout, like, off a clinch like he did off, like, Rockhold.
Yeah.
But, like, if he's smart about it, if he kind of, like, takes away his movement, hurts his legs a bit,
Yeah.
without reminding Izzy too much, you know, like, he's got to be onto it with his own checks.
Yeah.
You know, like, when you start throwing leg kicks on people, that reminds them, oh, yeah, I should throw leg kicks back.
Yeah.
You know, you don't really want to get Izzy in that space where he's throwing a lot of leg kicks back, but if he can hurt Izzy early, like, take away his base, he might be able to get into the spot where he can show him a bit of that Polish power. But
Yeah.
this fight's good for Izzy. Like, he's
Yeah,
a lot
it is.
faster. He's got a lot more weapons in the stand-up game. And, like, he's good at, like, doing the things, like, canceling the things that John's good at.
Yeah. I don't think Jan has any different threats than what Costa had.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying I think he's a better fighter than Costa, but I think the threats are the same.
Yeah, it's not a new challenge to Izzy. It's definitely not one that he's never seen before.
Yeah, of course.
It's a bit harder than the last one, but, like, Izzy had that one by miles.
Yeah, it was a butchery.
Yeah, like, if Paulo Costa got a little bit better, he's not going to win that rematch. Like, if Paulo Costa added, like, 3 more wrinkles to his game somehow, like, just became, like, way more well-rounded in different ways. And,
Yeah.
you know, got, like, I don't know, something really cool. Like, it's not going to be wrestling.
Yeah.
He's going to need something, like, I don't know.
I don't think he can.
Nah. He had this sick body punch. That was, like, his thing. But, like, you're not going to get that with Izzy.
Against a guy like Izzy, you're opening yourself up so much to land something like that.
Yeah.
Like, you're not going to come out better.
Yeah. Like, body punches are so dangerous. Like,
Yeah.
The one that I remember seeing because I saw it live was Tahuna versus Shogun. Yeah. Tahuna just stepping in with this body punch and just getting flatlined, you know? Like,
Yeah.
it's almost like it's similar to an uppercut, you know? Like, you think Chuck versus Rashad.
You've got to expose your entire face.
Yeah. Like, when you can land them, like the way that he got, like, Uriah Hall, where you can kind of really get a guy shelling up so you can just start, like, freely throwing them, then, like, you know, you can win a fight. But I just can't see him getting Izzy somewhere like that.
Do you remember Izzy being in a position like that against Gastelum?
I feel like I don't remember seeing him in that position.
Like, I feel like he was always, like, he was never backed up to the cage. He was circling, even if he was on his back foot.
Yeah.
He wasn't there to be locked up like that.
The shots that he kind of ate against Kelvin was just like a testament to Kelvin's head movement and footwork, really.
Yeah.
Like, he's good at getting out of the way of a punch and getting into your range before you know it.
He did such a good job of getting inside.
Yeah.
In that fight.
In every fight, really. Like, you watch him because he's a short, stocky guy, but like the way that he like, it was always like the same combo. It was his lead hook, rear cross. You know, like when he like knocked Bisping's head into the crowd. You know, when he dropped Vitor Belfort twice in one fight. You know, like KG's my boy. Like, I love that guy. Like, I always
sick,
really
man.
enjoyed watching him fight. And like, yeah, he was getting into Izzy not by just throwing punches and bunches and getting Izzy to block. You know?
No, he knew what he was doing.
What is the way to beat Izzy? I think you'd need like someone like a John Jones who is like definitely slower, but a bigger version of like, you know, the same kind of body with like a similar sort of tool set, like familiar in the same sort of fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think that looks like?
I feel like that's the one where Izzy kind of gets taken down. Like if John Jones fights Izzy, I feel like Izzy gets some early success in striking and then you know how like John Jones in his like up and coming run, he'd like try and beat someone at what they were good at, and then like say when Lyoto got him with that cross, he's just like, all right, fuck this, I'm taking you down.
Yeah.
And he like, you know, he had that stat back then, like every fight within 30 seconds of taking someone down, he had them cut.
Yeah.
You know, so like that was his biggest thing. He'd cut people, and from there they'd start to wilt.
That second Gustafsson fight was just a different him. Like it looks like he was just trying to outstrike the striker.
Yeah.
Like exactly like you were saying. And then that second fight, it was just straight to the mat and damage.
Yeah, it was like all of a sudden it's like, oh, I'm going to win this thing now. Take him down and just, you know, like Alex didn't do anything when he was on the ground. It was like fucking sad to see. But like, yeah, I feel like John Jones gets that fight. I feel like it's not like, it's probably a dangerous fight for John Jones, but.
Well, because it's still winnable.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But it's.
I'd pick John Jones to be the favorite, you know? Like, I feel like it wouldn't be a very far margin, but he'd definitely be the favorite.
Jan's paying like $3.
$3.
Yeah.
That's an insult, but fuck.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, fuck. Yeah.
Like, I don't think it's that one-sided, but.
Yeah, I wonder what he's paying by KO. I might actually make that bet.
I threw down on KO for him over Reyes.
Yeah?
It's 5.
Nice, man.
So good.
Oh, dude. My mate was betting against Dustin versus Connor.
Yeah.
And he's like, dude, Dustin second round KO is paying heaps. I'm like, nah, dude, if it's going to happen, bet it in the fourth. And like, I got the whole room on board. We're like, no, the fourth. We all saw the fourth round knockout, and he got in the second. And my mate, he didn't say anything, but I think deep down he was spewing.
Yeah, you should buy him a beer when you see him next.
Yeah, I want a beer.
Maybe.
Or two.
Yeah, that's
he actually
rough.
could have got a lot of money. For that one. I think he was paying something like 35.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ooh.
Shit, that's good money.
Some people probably made that bet too.
I reckon they did.
Yeah, we made a lot of money on that. Shit.
Yeah. Did just on Costa, him and Whitaker got announced, locked in today.
That's an easy fight for Whitaker, I reckon.
You reckon easy?
Yeah, well, dude, Whitaker can beat anyone in that division like easily, I reckon, except for Izzy.
Yeah.
Izzy, he can fight him and beat him, but I don't know how. I don't know how that win looks for Robert. But like, he's just good at these knockout artists. Like, these people who think they're knockout artists, but really they're grapplers that like learnt one punch.
Yeah.
You know, the Brunsons, you know, those sort of guys. Like, Izzy's just like, Robert's just got him. Like, who's the other guy? Clint Hester, you know, beat him. Like, you know, and even good strikers like Uriah Hall, like Robert Whitaker was way better.
Yeah, oh yeah, 100%.
You know, Jacare, that's another grappler who like, you know, sort of knows how to strike.
Yeah.
You know, Robert's just got really good takedown defense, and he's got really good striking, and like he's got really good counter striking.
Yeah.
But when someone's better at countering him, a la Izzy, then his game's not the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, he needs to kind of like find a way to hurt him in different ways. Like if he was doing that knee stomp that he's doing a lot on Yoel.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, you need to take away Izzy's base. I think there's no ifs, buts, or maybes about it.
Oh yeah, if he can move, he's deadly.
He's like a snake, he'll bite you and you're done. But at the same time, as I said before, you start hunting his base and he'll start hunting yours. And if your checking game's not good, you're in for a bad time.
Oh, I rewatched the Costa fight the other day. The timing he has on his leg kicks, I don't even think they're possible to check.
Oh, yeah. He sets it up so well.
It's as soon as your back foot's off the ground, and it's so quick. It's like half a millisecond.
And he's like leaving himself right in front of the kick too. He doesn't mind having that wide stance, being like almost in your striking range, because the second that you like commit your weight to that punch, he throws that kick.
Yeah.
And someone like Costa, who's just too slow.
Yeah.
Like, it was just easy for him.
Well, his movement was like rocking back and forth. Yeah. And that just gives him free leg kicks.
Yeah.
Whereas Izzy is like every step is so like purposeful.
Yeah.
Which is how it should be.
Every feint's like, there's feints all the time as well.
Yeah.
He throws the fake leg kick and then you check it, and then like as you're putting your check down, he kicks you, It's smart shit,
Yeah.
I just fucking hate that he fucking is in middleweight division, honestly. If he was in light heavyweight this whole time, that would have been actually really cool. I could have really enjoyed watching him rise up.
Do you reckon you could forget what he did to Whitaker at light heavyweight? And just treat him like a whole new person?
Maybe. I don't know. Depends depends how he starts cutting these promos, I don't know. He's doing his own thing, but he's almost like he's like trying too hard with it. I don't know.
Yeah.
He's not doing Connor's thing. He's not doing like that Michael Chandler thing where he just sounds like an American wrestler. Yeah. He almost sounds like a rap battler, but like not good at rap battling. I don't know.
I mean, kinda. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
You sort of get what I'm saying? Like when he's like, what did he say? Like, I used to be in the nosebleeds, now I'm up here making his nosebleed.
Yeah.
Like, it's a memorable line, but I don't know. When you listen to it, it just didn't hit the air right. Like, it's like his timing is wrong. It's like he's stuttering on himself. He sounded nervous or something.
Yeah.
But he wasn't nervous, but I don't know. Maybe I'm just salty. Maybe I'm just a hater. That's probably it, right? Like,
I mean, it's not unlikely.
Yeah, it's not unlikely, Like, some people, when I don't like them enough, I just can't find a way to like them.
It's so hard when, I think I could be someone who likes Henry Cejudo. Yeah. It's just because he knocked TJ the way... Just because he beat TJ the way he did.
Yeah, right.
That I can't stand him.
Yeah, like...
Because I'm such a big TJ fan. And he's coming back, by the way.
That's exciting, right?
Who does he get?
He probably gets a title shot.
Do you reckon?
Yeah, I reckon he gets a title shot. Because he wasn't defending that belt when he lost, was he? No.
Yes, he was.
He was.
Yes, he was.
So he did lose the belt. And who's the champion now?
Peter
Yan? Yeah.
Oh, Pecho?
Poicha? I don't know.
Poicha Yan.
We're butchering that.
Another Yan.
Yeah. That's a good fight for TJ too. It's a good fight for both people. I don't know. Maybe TJ versus Aldo might be fucking sick.
That's a cool fight, but I don't think it's a good one for Aldo.
No, it's not a good fight for Aldo.
Because he's just, TJ just won't be there for his counters.
Yeah, but if Aldo could... I don't know why he doesn't throw leg kicks like he used to.
It's crazy.
Right?
That last fight he had against... I don't remember his name. Bleach blonde hair.
I'm forgetting too, man.
Anyway, he threw a couple leg kicks. It got me so excited.
Yeah.
He didn't follow up on them, but
he doesn't use them. It's like, oh yeah, I can leg kick. And then he just goes back to trying to throw these hands.
Yeah.
And he's got really good footwork, he throws a hook and then he circles out the side really well.
Yeah.
And right there, inside leg kick when you're from there or something would be good. But, if he did that and he caught TJ with a leg kick early on.
Yeah.
And took away his base once again.
Yeah.
And kept doing it, it would be a lot better to watch. He'd probably make it a real even fight, if not take it.
If TJ can't move, Aldo's real scary.
If TJ can't move, he's probably not really that big a problem. His movement's insane, and that's one of the biggest things about it.
That's the only thing that I'm thinking about. He's got power.
He does have power.
But it is just the fact that he can hit you and then not be there.
Yeah. And which is why the Dominic Cruz fight, which I still kind of thought he won, was the one where he kind of lost his momentum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Cody Garbrandt's fighting too.
Oh, yeah. Cody Garbrandt's fighting.
He's asking for Aldo.
I thought he was fighting Davison Figueiredo
Is he seriously? I think he was on Food Truck Diaries yesterday, and he was saying he was looking for Aldo.
I thought he was lined up for that title fight.
It'd be a cool fight.
He lost the fight.
It'd be a really cool fight. Oh, no, they're doing a rematch.
Yeah, right.
Figueiredo versus Moreno again.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah, it's the best
beautiful.
thing.
Yeah, that was a great fight the first time.
Oh, yeah. Flyweights, man.
Yeah.
I can't believe there were talks of cutting them.
I can't believe how, like, hard it was to enjoy it back at the start and how good it is now. Like,
yeah, well, it was hard when it was just Mighty Mouse stomping everyone.
Yeah, I think that was it.
It was fun. It was fun. Like the flying armbar.
Yeah.
Like one of the better nights of my life.
The division wasn't cultivating under Mighty Mouse. It was like just everyone's like,
who's next?
Yeah, they're beating like the 10th, 8th, and 7th guy, and then they're getting Mighty Mouse, you know?
Yeah.
And there's no one who you're like watching, you're like, this guy's going to be the guy that beat Mighty Mouse. Except for Cejudo.
I definitely didn't think it was going to be Cejudo.
Yeah. I still kind of feel like Mighty Mouse won that fight.
Did you see? It was close.
It was close.
It was close, and then there was a takedown in the last round from memory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like, you know.
Do you remember the first fight they had?
Oh, yeah. That was just a showcase.
The knees. Oh.
You were like, that had everyone thinking that Mighty Mouse is never, ever going to lose ever.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like Cejudo was the guy to beat him if he was going to beat him. And then he just got fucking flogged.
TJ Mighty Mouse would have been so much better.
Oh, man. Yeah, that would have been a fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, I hear he's doing really well. Like, you know, with the...
One?
Yeah, with the Eastern market like that.
Yeah, I bet. Alvarez, not so much.
Yeah. Dude, a lot of people going to the from the UFC to one are getting like really hurt. Like Sage Northcutt and Cosmo Alexandra.
God. Did you see the x-rays of his face?
Yeah. Destroyed his face.
And then you see Cosmo get knocked out by Nicky Holtzkin?
Yeah, and then Nicky Holtzkin's like lost against this other dude.
Yeah.
Oh, fucking, I'm not paying him the right respects.
Yeah.
But like, I can't believe that whole bloody, like that whole kickboxing
The
scene
striking over there.
It's so good.
It's actually so much better than most of the UFC.
It needs to be more available in Australia or like, you know, worldwide. You know?
Yeah.
Like the market needs to grow. I hear it's huge over there in Asia, but like it needs to be over here too because I want to watch them fights more.
I watch the replays all the time. They're awesome.
And
but
like,
it's just the replays.
Real quick,
you know?
they have the best Instagram out of any fight promotion.
Oh, yeah, dude. They're funny.
Yeah.
They're really funny.
Yeah, and they actually don't care showing you like the highlights and shit. Like UFC, they'll show you like the second after the fight where the guy starts celebrating.
All
like,
the time. Like you see Dustin like get up off Conor and you're like,
why? I don't even want to see that.
Yeah.
You know, and they're just so hard on their copyright laws. Like, you know, the who's the Aussie dude that does the reviews? Aussie Man Reviews.
Oh, yeah. Is he not, he can't do them anymore?
He hasn't been able to do them for ages. Ever since Conor versus Aldo, they went really hard on it.
Damn.
Who's the guy who does the 1 minute breakdown? Robin Black.
Yeah.
He can't do them anymore.
That's a crime. He's so good.
All it does is it hypes up your fights. You know, he does like a breakdown of like your guy that's about to fight, and you're like, oh, I want to see him do that again.
Yeah.
You watch the fight. Fucking idiots, you know. You got ONE FC who are like putting in their highlights and like then the funny videos that their fighters put up on their own Instagram.
Everything, yeah.
They build up all their fighters, you know. It's really good to see. Even if they're coming off losses, you know, they're like, who's that? Stamp Fairtex? No. Might have been Stamp Fairtex.
Don't recall.
Oh, one of the female fighters who was like the MMA champ and the kickboxing champ lost both belts.
Yeah.
But they're still like putting up heaps of like stories about her, you know? Like it's just, I don't know.
Yeah, they don't forget like
It's
the
a well-run
UFC does.
promotion.
UFC, it's like whoever the contender is, whoever the champion is.
Yeah.
Whoever got a cool knockout last week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They build up their one guy. Where it's like if ONE FC had the money and the reach that the UFC does, like the whole MMA world would be way bigger.
For sure.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And their weight cutting rules are dope.
Yeah. And then like make the whole sport like better to watch when you got better weight cutting. I have a feeling it's not as clean over there as the UFC is.
I don't think so.
Yeah, not making it like saying any names, but there are some fucking giants over there that look like their bodies are made of water balloons. Like, you know, water balloons that have been frozen. I'm not saying they're sloppy. They're solid looking fellas, but holy shit, like, I don't know. For some reason you don't see that in heavily regulated drug tests.
No.
No.
It looks like They got a bunch of old school Alistair Overeems over there.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Vitor even said on his like Instagram, like he made like a little bit of a comment about it. He's like, he said something like "team run together," like just cryptically saying, "I'm back on the TRT, baby. You get ready for this. We're bringing back the full the mullet and the mohawk in one."
He looks jacked again.
Yeah, he does.
It's so obvious.
I want to see these head kicks, these spinning head kicks. Jesus, TRT back.
Yeah. One thing I like about Costa, he plays into being a drug cheat.
Yeah.
Because he's so jacked.
Yeah, it does, eh?
Did you see him the other day? He's got like a water bottle with a radioactive sign on it. It's like...
Oh, man. I don't get it. I do not get how that guy is not on like hectic steroids because he's fucking huge.
Yeah. When him and Yoel were in the ring together, it was like watching God's fight. Yeah. And the fight was dope too.
That is the best way I've ever heard that described.
Like Roman, Greek gods.
Yeah. Dudes are gigantic and just throwing fucking leather at each other.
Yeah.
That's why people thought that like Costa had a chance against Izzy. I was like, I was like really hoping he was going to win. I'm like, maybe if all these people think that he's going to win, I just should have tuned it out. Of course he wasn't going to win that fight.
It was the same fight as the Yoel fight pretty much, but Costa got a little reckless.
Yeah, like Yoel actually, talk about it. He didn't do too bad against Izzy.
No.
Yeah, people kind of give like Yoel a lot of shit for that fight where I don't think it's really fair. It's like, what do you expect? Izzy's just going to run in to like get counted? And it's like, well, what? Do you expect Yoel to? Like,
yeah,
why
exactly.
Is that,
it's
like,
the exact same
not a
thing.
coin? Like, yeah.
It's like trying to come in on Izzy has got to be like trying to grab like a marble from underneath a blender while it's spinning and shit. So like,
I really like that. That's really cool.
You saw that with Yoel and Costa.
Yeah.
Because they just stood there.
Yeah.
And they were like waiting for a moment, and there isn't a moment with Izzy.
Yeah.
And then you had Robbie, who did come in and sort of try and take the action, and then we saw what happened.
He got fed to the blender, didn't he? Yeah.
Chopped up, son.
Yeah. And like, he was doing like, he was pressing the action. He was like, he was touching Izzy at the end of these punches, but like, Izzy like took those extra 3 inches he needed on purpose,
Yeah.
And like keeping him there was like the perfect range for that counter hook that he hit.
Yeah.
It was well controlled by Izzy.
Yeah. It's good. I think there's only like 2 more fights to talk about.
Which ones?
Stipe Ngannou 2.
Ooh. How did you pick the first one?
I thought it was going to go that way.
You thought it was going to go that way?
I thought Stipe get him to the ground, but I mean, his head movement up was still good.
Yeah.
Stipe is good, man.
He is. And that's what I was sort of saying going into it. I was like, this was a hype train I didn't buy. I was like, what I was calling Francis was a titanium can. Like he's a can, but he's a huge one and he's really strong. And like, of course, he could win, but like, I was like, that's the way that Stipe beats him, and he did beat him that way,
Yeah.
Does he do it the second time? Francis has improved a fuckload, but he's still like, I think even though he's improved, he knows that he can just swing wild and they'll be gone.
Yeah.
But if he does
like, was it the Rosenstruck fight where he literally just ran at him and threw bombs till one of them landed?
It was like actual Majin Buu. He was just like swinging like fucking arms wide out like a fucking helicopter and fucking, just one. But like, he can only do that a couple times, then he's tired as shit.
Yeah.
Like that's what we saw against Stipe. Like the whole fight, he looked like a man drowning.
Yeah.
It's like that once again. It's just like, it's more of a chance that Francis is going to hit that punch this time round.
Yeah.
But once again, if he doesn't, and if he doesn't do it straight away, he's done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool fight again, but I think so.
Yeah.
I think Stipe gets it.
I think Stipe gets it. And then Stipe versus John Jones. Ooh. Good luck picking that.
I just straight up think John.
Yeah.
I think it looks so like any other John Jones fight except the Reyes one.
But like Stipe's got this way of like making the best fighters in the world look like, oh wait, no, they can actually just be beaten. Like, yeah.
I'm like, I just don't think the heavyweight division is that good outside of like Cormier and Stipe.
It's a fair comment. It is.
Like, and it's an unpopular one, crazily.
Yeah.
But like,
that shouldn't be unpopular.
I've like heard a lot of people say like, I've been saying the heavier it gets, the less skill based the fighting is.
Which it's true.
But like, I mean, I guess that's a pretty broad statement.
But you can't be that skilled when you're that heavy.
No,
you can't move around like a Mighty Mouse does when you're 120 kilos or 260 pounds. You know what I mean? Like, there's definitely skill in it. Like, you look at Mark Hunt, like the way that he kind of like actually like, you know, for his size, he can find his way into range. You know, he can really set up a good like a good knockout punch easily.
Yeah.
And it's from skill. It's from years and years of experience.
Definitely.
You know, you look at guys like Stipe, you know, they're very well rounded. They got very good boxing, very good wrestling, you know. Yeah. Maybe you've seen him subbed. I don't know. I don't think I've seen him subbed.
I don't think so.
But
the only finish I can think of is that Daniel and Stefan Struve.
Yeah, Stefan.
That was weird, man.
Yeah.
It's weird seeing him get knocked out by him.
Yeah, Stefan Struve back in the day, you know, just not a guy to count out against.
No.
These days, a little less.
Not that way. Yeah.
Like Stipe, you know, he's just got that power. Like, you saw what he did to Overeem. Like, the second that he hit a punch on the ground, it was done.
And going backwards, too.
Yeah. And
wait, was that Overeem or Wadum? I think that was Wadum, I'm thinking
that was
of.
Wadum.
He's like chasing him down and just like sharp left.
Yeah, just a really short cross, like as he was like too close into it.
Yeah.
But, like, I think Overeem, he took him down or he knocked him down, but it was just once he got one of those ground and pound shots in, you know, like he's just that powerful. Like, if he's in your guard and he hits you, you're pretty well done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty well. Overeem's fighting Volkov as well. I just remembered.
That's awesome. That's
cool
awesome.
fight.
I'm really enjoying like this last run of Overeem.
Yeah.
I'm so proud of him. He's been doing so well not to get hit in the chin.
Dude, he's just been around so long.
Yeah.
He's a legend.
Like, honestly, he's been the most skilled heavyweight fighter for ages.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
he does have more skill than Stipe, honestly. Like, you saw, like, everyone's like, oh, he's running away. He was getting the angle he wanted.
Yeah.
You know, and you saw, he ran away, he stopped, he hit that left cross, and he dropped Stipe fucking hard.
Yes.
It's, you know, he just didn't have the chin to stay in that fight for long enough. But these last couple fights, you know, he's been staying out of damage. He's been, like, closing the distance, and his ground and pound is on another fucking level. Oh, I thought he was going to crack that guy's head open like an egg that last fight.
Yeah, I thought I was watching a murder.
Oh, man, that was insane.
Tough. I think he takes Volkov down and just beats on him.
Hopefully. You know, Volkov could, like, you know, he's fucking good. He could knock him out, you know. But Overeem's been doing good at hiding that questionable chin.
Yeah. Only other fight, Megan Anderson and Nunes.
Well,
that's booked, but
let's talk about it.
Yeah.
All right. So, you know, Megan, she's been doing fucking well. Like, she did well on her way up through Invicta.
Yep.
And what she's done is something that I was always kind of questioned Megan about, was a bit up here.
Yeah.
You know, psychologically, could she kind of like start to give up when she starts losing?
Yeah.
You know, is it once she doesn't believe that she's going to win, does she lose?
Yeah.
And then you start seeing her in these fights in Invicta, and it's like she's gotten rid of the part of her mindset that says, I can lose. It's like she's in there and she's like, I'm definitely going to beat this bitch.
Yep.
You know, she came in, she was coming in hard, and she won all these fights, you know. Then she gets in the UFC, she beats Kat Zingano, you know, like she beats a household name, you know.
Was that the
head kick with the toe hit the eye?
Yeah, okay.
You know, it was it's still a win. It was, you know, a little bit of a funny ending to it, let's say.
It's an unfortunate ending.
An unfortunate ending,
yeah.
And then Holly Holm all of a sudden comes down like a wrestler and like, you know, beats her. I was like, okay, that was a different to see. But Megan didn't like, what I was expecting was when Megan loses in like a high profile fight, that we'd see like her lose that kind of like switch of like, I can beat any bitch.
Yeah.
But then she came back in that next fight against, I forget old Love's name, but she beat the shit out of her.
Yeah, it was a great fight for her.
Yeah,
she did real well.
You know, but Amanda Nunes is almost like the person where people would be getting that kind of Connor nerves, you know?
Yes.
You know, like you'd be up in there and be really hard to believe that you're going to win this fight.
Yeah.
You know, Megan's really good when she's like up there mentally, but I feel like if she loses it, she won't do very well.
Yeah.
But I just feel like, you know, Amanda Nunes doesn't think for 1 second that Megan can beat her. Maybe Megan can surprise her. I don't know. But like, fuck, what I kind of see happening is like Amanda hitting a couple of those big shots.
Yeah.
And, you know, I'm gonna go back to my old oats. I'm gonna say, you know, once Megan gets hit by that she might start to
Just
stop
collapses a little.
believing that she can win. And then it gets bad.
It's such a hard fight.
It's such a hard fight for anyone.
Nunes is a freak of nature.
Yeah, I actually keen to see Nunes against some of the bantamweight men.
I'd watch.
I'd watch
Seriously.
some of them.
Like the lower ranking ones. But yeah,
when it
if
gets
you're
to the top
competitive,
level.
I reckon, man.
She's got the
I wouldn't
power.
wanna be in there
She's
with her.
strong, like,
Yeah.
yeah. But, if I'm a betting man, I'd say that Nunes is where you put your money.
Yeah.
But there might be a chance you can win a lot of money on Megan there.
She's paying like $9.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Bet on her for the win. I can't pick how it would happen.
Throw down a 10.
Yeah, throw down a 10. Throw down a 20. Fuck it. Yeah, make a bit of money. Like she could actually fucking do well for you there. And
Yeah.
like, yeah.
I mean, she's capable of landing a fight-ending shot.
She is.
Yeah.
For sure. Or like, it's not even like one shot, like the fight's over, but it's like one shot and the fight changes its dynamic.
Yes. And then she can get a bit of momentum.
Yeah, maybe like, Amanda steps back and drops her hands and gets head kicked and like breaks her nose.
It could, man. Yeah.
Like from there, like it's really hard to win with a broken fucking nose. We've seen that like
Many times.
many times.
Yeah. Every time you get hit, just hurts.
Yeah.
When Rory went down to Robbie.
Yeah, man. Rory so close to winning that fight
I
too.
get goosebumps every time I think about that. He was looking so good.
Yeah. Man, that was a man almost dead though that went down, eh? That guy took a beating by the time that fight was over.
Yeah.
And like somehow Robbie's won 2 of those fights. Like he beat Rory McDonald both times.
Yeah.
And Rory McDonald honestly should just like beat Robbie Lawler. Like you look at that fight going into it, every time you'd bet Rory McDonald's just going to shut him down.
Yeah.
But then Robbie Lawler's like, he changes the dynamic of the fight with one shot. That's what you do.
When Robbie shows up, it's such a good fight.
And he shows up every fight for at least 30 seconds. The very start of the fight, he comes out like you've just killed his family. And
Yeah.
then like he's just, I don't know, just don't know what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's tough. Yeah. Well, that's been a while.
That's probably a pretty
I
good
don't know how long,
run,
but yeah, solid podcast, man.
Yeah, all right, man.
Got a lot done.
Yeah, I got to piss, man.
Yeah, me too. All right, let's call it here.
Let's go there.
Thanks, friends.
Thank you.